All right, hello everyone. It's been a while since we talked together a whole week. I hope you enjoyed your spring break. I know you were still working at your schools, but at least took some break to sink in some qualitative research methodology stuff. I was able to actually read all of your posts. I was able to give feedback for some, and then I decided, because the it looked almost the same, I decided to read them all and then maybe give you a feedback on overall feedback and decide on a plan. And this video is actually to recap on what has been happening and maybe have a plan for next week or so. So I'm very impressed with the work that you have produced as an initial methodology writing. I mean, I am very impressed and wowed, and very glad that you were able to produce this piece. However, for the majority of you, or mostly all of you, it's still kind of drafty. And because I'm really trying to seek perfection with you guys, to teach you as much as I can, and as much as my ability to get you up and running for methodology section. Methodology is the hardest and most technical piece in a research writing. I mean, in the statement of the problem and the introduction and the literature review, it's kind of mechanical, and I think all of you got it now, how to write your questions, how to think of your problem, and how to find your literature review. Your obstacle was mainly to find the literature, but you learned how to write literature review, and we practiced that, and through drafts and through feedback back and forth, I think you got it, how to write a literature review, and how it's not like a summary of an article or reviewing an article, but actually discussing within yourself and within your piece how research supports your argument and how you are bringing something new to add to this piece. So we're over with that, and then we started the methodology section, and the first methodology design, research design we talked about is qualitative research. Qualitative research is really a lot of fun, and it might be the idea of having different kinds what makes it even more fun, because you kind of get an opportunity to dig deeper into each design type and look at it from different perspectives, and then look back to your research and see how can this fit into this design. Well, some of you, their questions and the nature of the research that they want to research is really kind of maybe not going towards a qualitative research. It's either a mixed method or a quantitative research. However, because of the sake of practicing and exploring different kinds of research, I wanted you to be flexible with this. Maybe rearrange your questions to make it more open-ended, and rather than statistical or numerical driven. So just make sure that you do that. Think about your research as something qualitative based, so you can tweak your questions a little bit to make it fit into the exploration of qualitative research. But then, of course, you want to keep what you want to do, actually, and you're going to get a chance to explore your research questions under qualitative, maybe under quantitative, and then we'll discuss mixed methods, and then at the end for your final paper you really get to choose. Maybe you started off as a quantitative, but then when you explore qualitative you like it, or the opposite, vice versa. So just be open to explore and tweak your questions. Now, qualitative is really about researching human beings and knowing about what people know or feel or understand or perceive things, how they perceive things, how they interact. So it's really open and it's very personable, and it entails a lot of story and a lot of researcher perspective as well. So there's no numbers that needs to be involved as far as data collection and data analysis. You really have to pay attention to this. Once you do that, then you're starting to mix, which is a mixed method, where you are doing a couple of your data collection, maybe interviewing and observing, and then a third data collection would be more graphical, or like looking at graphs or percentages or whatever, and that will make it a mix, because you took piece of a quantitative with piece of qualitative. So just make sure that you focus more on the data collection tools that we discussed in the lectures. So I found that in general you did really well as a draft, as a initial draft of writing methodology. I'm really impressed. However, I really want to push you further. So I would think that I don't feel comfortable moving to quantitative research now. So what I'm proposing to do is to just pause a little bit and sink in more qualitative research. Qualitative is broad and it has a lot of, again, whenever there is a lot of narrative and a lot of stories, and then there is a lot of terminology, a lot of details in data collection, a lot of details in data analysis, a lot of details in the different types. So what I want to do, and here's my plan, I want to pause, and we're going to shift our schedule 1 week down. So if I go to our syllabus right here, okay, we are here. This is our week, and we should be starting quantitative research methods. But again, I would rather spend more time making sure that you got it. You got qualitative research and you're comfortable and you really understand it, than just moving on to quantitative and you're shaky in your qualitative research. So that's fine. We still have ample of time. So we'll push it down here. Push everything down. Okay. So this week we're going to do qualitative review. Okay. And next week we're going to do quantitative research and design introduction. And then in the week of April 3rd to the 9th, where we're going to meet at the end. Hopefully many of you can make it this time. And please try if you can plan it ahead. Well, it kind of helps to have any questions and ask me right there, right then. So in that week, we're going to push the data collection and data analysis. So we're pushing this 1 week and we're pushing this week, and I think we'll be fine here, because I had this one blank for you to think and write your exploration for, which is quantitative research. So it wouldn't hurt to push down the data collection analysis anyways of the quantitative, since you're working on it, and you can watch the videos and work on it, and in the meantime, at the same time. Okay, so we are going to review here. That's the plan, because there are specific areas that I want you to think about when we're reviewing, and I'll tell you what I really would ask you to please do. So sampling for many of you did not exist in your papers, and I think you might have not watched the sampling video in week 8 for some reason, although I have it for you, and I also included it in the steps of proposal right here. And I have it in week 7, I think. So you do the introduction, the procedure, data collection, you talk about sampling, data collection tools, the triangulation that you have, and in here you really need to pay attention to formatting. So data collection tools, that's your title, and then interviews, observations, and then whatever the third tool is, and you put a period, and then you start writing right away, and this should be italic and bold. Bold, italic. That's the format of a third title. If you go to APA, the Purdue OWL, the website, the link I gave to you, please look at it before your final paper. This one is, your post is a very informal post, so I just want you to practice it, but you didn't have to do it, and there are no points taken out of any of these posts as long as you posted. But I just want you to practice it so that when you come to the final, you don't be shocked or overwhelmed of learning too many things. So if you practice with me right now, where no points are taken away from you, but you're really practicing, it will make you better make it better for you and easier for you at the end when you do the final. So this is the format, and I want, in research writing, you really need to make sure that you have titles and subtitles and subtitles of the subtitles, and there are many categories of subtitles and titles. There's title 1, 2, a 3, a 4. If you go to Purdue OWL website right here, let me show it to you so that you get more familiar with it. Oh, nope, no, this is not the one. Purdue OWL APA website. And I have this step for you. I mean, I posted this website for you in the content area last resources tab, and I think I posted it under one of the weeks. I just can't remember the week now. But anyway, so if you, whatever you want to, if you want to look at the headings, if you want to look at the titles, if you want to look at samples, everything's right here. How to write a sample paper, in-text citation, footnotes, reference list. This is all to guide you through the APA, types of APA papers, APA stylus, APA headings. I think that's what we want right here. And these are the headings. So the first heading should be centered and boldface and uppercase and lowercase. The second, which is the left aligned boldface, and then the third should be indented boldface and lowerface with a period. Oh, so we shouldn't italicize the title number 3. So I'll fix this. And whenever I write a research paper for publication, I always go back to it, because you cannot remember all of this, but a resource is right there for you to help you. After you finish your writing, just go check it out to check that you have the correct formatting. Now, if I want to do, if I wrote about interviews, and it shouldn't be bolded, of course, and then I want another title under interviews, then that's when I need to, so interviews will be with parents. Maybe that's one of my interviews, and it should be italicized, and it shouldn't be bolded, and I think there has to be a period. Number 4, indented, boldface, it is boldface, italicized, lowercase heading with a period. So that's title number 4. It should be bolded and it should be italicized right here. There you go. And then you talk about what about parents, and how and when are you interviewing them, and what are you interviewing them for, and all of that. If you have a fifth, then it should be indented, and then again look at the fifth title. And here they have a sample for you right here, how it looks like. Okay, so that's something that I found as a common mistake for all. So the first common mistake is skipping altogether sampling. So please make sure that you view the videos, and I specified the times from the beginning until 10, which gives you a general perspective of what is sampling. And then for qualitative sampling, you start from minute 18:43 until I think the end, which is minute 29. In the middle, it's quantitative, so we're going to use that piece for quantitative sampling. So that's the first common error. Formatting is the second common error that I didn't see a lot of, although I gave you the steps guidelines so that you would follow. The data collection description, just make sure that you have triangulation, and this is something again in the lecture. Because of the nature of qualitative research, and because of how it can be very subjective in how you perceive things as a researcher, and how you perceive people, and how people may explain, because this is all from their own point of view. Because of all of that, we try to do a triangulation of research data collection to ensure trustworthiness of the data that you're collecting from people, and your impressions and all of that. So it's kind of, you're verifying every step of the way on the things that you have collected. Now, stopping and coming back is one format of grounded theory, or going along in order, or going all in parallel. The procedure differs from one type to another, and I want to see you saying something like this, so you can, and I saw some of you do that and some didn't, so I just want to make sure that you know this. And when you talk about the data collection at the beginning, you can just say something before you go ahead and start talking about interviewing. You talk about how you're collecting the data, all one step, and then you analyzed, and then one step and you analyze, because you're following grounded theory procedure, for example. And in a grounded research procedure, you always have to make sure that you are collecting data and pausing and looking at what you have, and then you go back to the field and collect. This will show the reader that you actually understand what the type of design that you're doing. And again, I might be looking at details, and I might be looking at perfection, but why not? You want to have this, and this is a very high level of writing research, and I really think that you are capable, because you're a bunch of smart people, so why not push you a notch? If your first draft looks like this, then I can push you to do a second draft that looks perfect. So we'll do that together. So that's in the data collection. Tell me about your type and how it dictated some sort of procedure. Okay, and then do the format. Data analysis. What I found in data analysis, again, I didn't see a lot of what we've discussed in the lectures about the EMIC and EDUC and how you're coding and how you're categorizing. And that was the most common thing that I saw in all of your papers, all of you. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to post this video. I'll write you an email, an announcement to tell you to just go ahead and go to week 9, where you're going to see this video and you're going to find a sample qualitative paper of one of my students from last semester. They took the same content and everything, so I think it makes sense to give you a sample, and I found this sample. I'll just post it for you with even my comments and feedback to him, so that you kind of see how he did it and how I perceive it. So data analysis was the weakest, but everything else you did it fine. It was about just a matter of formatting. Sampling was skipped completely, so I wonder why. Data collection was fine for most of you. So data analysis and sample, I would really want you to focus on more. And then when we come to trustworthiness, some of you did mention what we have here, and some of you did not at all. Please do. And it doesn't have to be the 4 of them. You can ensure credibility and transferability only. You can look at dependability and confirmability, or you can talk about the 4 of them, but at least show me that you know these terms. Show me that you know these terminology in your trustworthiness narrative. Otherwise, again, you're putting your research down a notch, or you're pushing it down a notch when you use vocabulary and terminology. That's why I always made sure that I want you to focus on writing terminology in chart paper, and maybe add to it along the line. Maybe when you read the chapter at the very beginning, that was the terminology that you found, but then from the lectures or from writing or from the steps of proposal, you found this, you found that. Add to it, to your chart, so that you'll have this kind of terminology, so that when you start writing your research paper, you use them. It's important, and that's why I'm saying methodology section is very technical, because it has a lot of technical terminology, a lot of technical formatting, very detailed formatting, and I think it's easy, honestly. It needs awareness and learning in depth, and that's why I'm pausing to get you to that level of learning in depth. So what I want you to do, please, if you can follow my instruction for this week, it will immensely, hopefully, push you to that level. You'll be really proud. You'll be really proud, and I'm sure that other professors who will teach you research will be actually very proud. Just push yourself a little bit. We're almost there. This week, I want you to divide your week. If you can take one video a day from the qualitative research week 7 and week 8. Week 7 and week 8. There are 4 videos. Okay, take one video a day. While you're watching the video, and I have the PowerPoints for you, I believe, you can either watch the video and take notes on a paper pencil if that's what you prefer, or you can take your notes on the PowerPoint right away. Okay, watch all 4 of them. Case study and ethnography, historical no, case study and grounded theory, sorry. Case study and grounded theory is in one video. Historical is another video, ethnographic in one video, and then sampling is in week 8, a 4th video. If you want to start all the way from week 6, the introduction to qualitative research, you can do that. Certainly, that would be amazing. And I think I have that video under week 7 as well. So if you want to have these 5 videos for 5 days, introduction to qualitative, case study and grounded, ethnography, historical, and then sampling. These 5 videos, or 4 if you think that you're okay with the introduction, please watch them all again in 1 day, in 2 days, 2 videos, or in 4 days. It doesn't matter to me as long as you have a plan. Don't wait until the weekend. I know we're all very busy, but 1 video, 40 minutes maximum. I think each video is 40 minutes maximum. It wouldn't hurt, but it will organize your time and will have ample of time to do the rest, which I'm going to tell you right now. So rewatch the videos. Even if you think you did really well, and even if I told you that you did really well, it wouldn't hurt you to watch it again. And then fill in a document that I'm going to add in under week 9. So I'm adding this video on week 9. I'm adding the sample qualitative research paper from last semester to look at the data analysis, how that student formatted it based on what we have in the proposal, steps of proposal. And then the third document that you will see is, where is it? Yes, the review. Okay, here it is. You'll find this qualitative research review. After you watch the videos, or while you're watching the videos, up to you, I want you to fill in this chart. So what is grounded theory, main features, and main expectations? Case study, what it is, main features, main expectations, ethnography, and historical. I can either give you this guideline, main features, what it is, main features, and whatever else you want to add, or you can disregard this and write your own. It doesn't matter to me as long as you can personalize it this way. So that, and then this is the methodology elements. What is each one of these? What does each one of these entails in its narrative? So procedures. In many of my comments to you, I'm having low battery. Okay, I'm back after charging the laptop. So under procedures, you're going to tell me the minute details of the steps. Think about it as if you're giving me a recipe to cook. In order to give someone a recipe to cook, this doesn't mean that you're actually cooking with them, right? You're not giving away any of the cooking procedure, but you're giving them the ingredients and the recipe as a list, okay? So I don't want you, when you tell me that you're going to interview, I don't want you to tell me exactly how the interview will take place, what is going to happen in the interview, but rather tell me about all the details that surrounds the interview. First, tell me I am going to get permission from parents and send from administration first to conduct my interview, my research in the school. After sending my documentation to the school administration and approving it, I will send to parents approval to include their children in my research. Then once I receive their permission and collect them, I will include the students who have the permission. I have permission to be involved in the research in one side of the classroom, so that I wouldn't videotape the other students in the classroom. These are all examples, hypothetical examples, but I'm just telling you how the procedure looks like in its formatting. It's like you're giving the layout of what you're going to do, so that the person who's going to or want to envision how you did it or want to replicate your research, they'll know the steps that they should follow, or they'll evaluate your steps that you took in order to do the research, that they are good steps or not really trustworthy steps. Then you're going to say, I'm going to observe the students, so I have the permission for 5 days in consecutively every day in the morning and in the evening, or in the afternoon, sorry. And then after observing them, the next step will come after the 5 days, and I'm going to take each student and interview at the back of the class while other students are working on something else. And after the interviews are done for the 10 students that I picked, I am going to have them work and submit a project to see that they really understood. I'm just trying to improvise, or I'm going to videotape them while they're interacting with the students to ensure that they really do understand the procedure of blah blah blah. And this videotaping will take place after the observations, the interviews, in about 10 days of the research has started or something. So no details about the interview questions, no details about the observation, no details about the videotaping, but I'm really giving details on the procedure. Okay, it's the procedure of the research, not the procedure of the data collection, not the procedure of the data analysis, but the procedure of the methodology of the research, and then how you're going to end it and finalize it at the end. Okay, so that's the procedure. So I want you, after you listen to the lectures more, and I explained it now, I want you to give me what is a procedure for you, your own understanding of procedure. And then sampling. After you watch the video, tell me about the sampling of qualitative research, the different types and what each one. And I don't want you to copy or say exactly what's in the video. I want you to give me your understanding. In here, this is for you. It's like a cheat sheet for you. Whatever you've understood, however you want it to look like for you, color coded, small points with keywords, signal words. It's up to you, but I want to see this filled out with understood information from the lectures and from the readings. And if you did the readings already, then at least go back and listen to the lectures. If you haven't done the readings, it's really important to do the readings. Again, the level of depth comes from the level of depth of your understanding. The level of depth of your writing will come from the level of depth of your understanding. So we want to reach the depth, but I see the understanding. I see that it's happening, and I see that it's working, and I see wonderful work. I just want to push you for the depth. Data collection. What are the triangulation options for a qualitative research? Okay. Data analysis. How do you analyze? How do you code? How do you categorize? What is an EMIC and what is an EDUC? All of that is in the lectures, and if you can't find it after you listen to all of the videos and can't locate it or still can't get it, please don't hesitate to email me. I will do my best to guide you and help you more, and maybe it didn't reach you in that manner, so I'll find another way to reach to you better, but I just want you to do that first step first for me, and then let me know if you need that extra or different explanation. And then trustworthiness. I discussed it in one of the lectures, and it's also written in detail under the steps of proposal, each one of them, what it means. Okay, so we'll watch the videos again. We will, after you watch the videos, you fill in this document, or you want to watch the video and parallelly fill in this document. That will be number 2. Number 3, look at the sample after you kind of captured everything from the lectures. Then put it down in your own way of understanding. Then the 3rd step, look at the sample paper that I have for you. It will put everything in perspective. It will be meaningful when you see that paper after you summarized all of this. And then after that, I want you to go back to your posts under the thread and edit. If I already commented on your paper, then clean it up. Clean up with putting in mind my comments. If I didn't write you a feedback yet, then it means that all of the existing feedback already for your colleagues, it's exactly the same. So I felt I'm starting to repeat myself, and that's not a good use of your time and mine. So since we share papers and we share posts, you can look at what we have and then edit your paper and repost it, and I'll look at all of them again. So after you finish all of these steps, please edit and clean up your post and make it in that deeper level, and then resubmit. So you're not writing anything new, you're just polishing and adding the things that needs to be added after watching the videos and filling in this and looking at the sample. So there's no stress on anything new you're writing this week, but the stress mainly is on the collecting the deep understanding, the polishing process. I know that all of you will do that, because I know that you really want this level of depth rather than just right now we have good copies. I mean, right now you do have good copies, but not good research papers. If you stop at this point, when you get to the action research paper, you'll be overwhelmed about the depth of writing, where you should really be overwhelmed about collecting data actually and going to the field. So I'm trying to eliminate this piece and want you to reach the depth now to prepare you to just go ahead and start the field, and you'll be worrying about the data analysis more, and that will be it. So let's do that. This week, starting from today until Monday, you are working on the steps that I just told you. Watch the videos again, fill in this document and post it under the discussion board. I'm going to give it to you, but it's optional to send it. It's really for you to organize yourself. But I'm going to put a new forum thread under the discussion board to share the qualitative review document, so that you can post it. Maybe it will be helpful for you guys to look at each other's. And then the third step, look at the sample carefully and see the areas that I talked about, or mainly these 5 elements. And then the last step for this week is to actually edit and polish your post and repost. Okay, now the week after, so this is this week from March 20th to the 26th. That's what you're going to be working on. And then the week after, which is March 27th to April 2nd, I am out in Mexico City. I have a conference, but I'm going to be posting a good introductory videos for quantitative research. That's when we're going to start quantitative research. You're not going to have a video lecture from me, but you're going to have a really nice, light visual introductory of quantitative research. I think you're going to like it because it's visual, and when you do the readings, it will make it very accessible. So you'll do, and I'll send you what you're going to do for that week after. You're going to read chapter 7, and you're going to watch these videos under will be week 10, I think. And yeah, I'll give you instruction for the week after, but just wanted to give you a heads up on what is happening. And then you're going to be writing your second research review, where you're going to find a quantitative research. When we did the first research review, we were discussing qualitative, so I expected you to find a qualitative research to review it, so that you'll kind of get an understanding and see how the design is. Now, for the second research review, we're going to be starting quantitative research. You're going to watch the videos and then find a quantitative research. You can go to the library, Hood Library, and click on the academic review. I think it's called Academic Review ECHO or something. But yeah, it's the first link that you will have under the letter A, Academic Review. And that's where you're going to find many more resources and researches, quantitative researches, and you're going to take this research and then do a review of it based on the guideline in your syllabus. Okay, so back to this week. Work hard on reviewing qualitative research, and we're pushing down this here and this here. But the assignments for the key terminology, we're going to skip the key terminology for quantitative research. But if you can do it while you're watching the videos, find the terminology, write it down, and that will be done, but I don't want to make it mandatory now since you're going to have the research review. But if you can do it, you're going to post it, you have the link for it, and I'm going to have the link for that under the discussion board. Anyway, I feel like I talked too much and I might have confused you, but if you have any questions, please let me know. Let's focus on this week. I'm going to send you an announcement with the instruction for this week, and I always give you instruction for each week so that you wouldn't be lost on what you need to be doing. Email me if you have any questions. Good luck. You are doing a wonderful job. Every and each one of you is really working hard, and I'm very proud of you. And I think you deserve that I get the best out of you since you are capable. So I'm doing this week. Please follow the instruction for this week. It will make a huge difference. I'm sure you're going to tell me that that really helped. All right, good luck, stay warm, and we'll talk again next week. All right.